This is Community Connection, putting you in touch with what's happening within the community and on our campus. Here's your host.
Hello, my name is Austin Sigler, and today I am here with Johnny Lay and Lane Hakal. We are going to be discussing the play Moon Over Buffalo, and I just want to dive right into it. Before, we need to get to know you guys a little bit too, right?
Sure.
So I'd love to hear some of your backgrounds, your stories, just like what got you to this point where you're part of this play.
Hello, my name is Johnny Lay. I am an alumni of Owens. I have done several productions here before. I am acquainted with Chloe, Jeremy, who has taught me so much at at Owens, to the point where doing this production gave me the thought of I gotta give credit where it is due. So that's why I'm here.
And I'm Lane Hakal. I'm playing an old man in Moon Over Buffalo, and I found the best way to play an old man is actually be an old man. I'm a retired school teacher in Bowling Green. I taught middle school and elementary school in 4th, 5th, and 6th grade for a whole career, 33 years, but taught in Southern Ohio as well. The teaching kind of ended up informing the acting, and since retiring 3 years ago, I've been building sets around the area, but directing for the Rep and for the Black Swamp Players, and then appearing in performance as well. I do some audiobook narration for Dreamscape, and am enjoying myself immensely. I recommend retirement. The sacrifice of your youth that you have to make to get it does diminish it somewhat, but it's better than working.
I can already tell I'm already starting to feel that at the ripe old age of 26. So you guys are both part of this play, different roles, of course,
right,
of Moon Over Buffalo. I'd love to hear, first off, what is Moon Over Buffalo about? Like, how would you explain it to someone who has never heard a word about it?
Okay, should I take that one?
Sure,
okay. Moon Over Buffalo is a comedy by a guy named Ken Ludwig, who really in most, I suppose, the 80s, 90s became the most famous for his playwriting, and particularly for farces. And so when you're getting a really laugh out loud comedy as opposed to just a chuckle comedy, you've got to have doors. So we have 5 doors on the set. They all get slammed repeatedly in this play. And we got cases of mistaken identity. The basic premise of the play is that an older couple has a theater company that travels from minor market to minor market to minor market. So they're in Buffalo for this particular occurrence of their lives. And they're not washed up, but they haven't made it quite yet either. They've both landed a couple of movie roles in Hollywood, and they'd like to do that more. This is set in the 50s, by the way. And they, during this play, end up with an opportunity to maybe make it back to Hollywood in a Frank Capra production. And then all hell breaks loose. And it goes downhill from there. And cases of mistaken identity. And the nice thing about this one, though, is a lot of farces, you say, okay, that couldn't possibly happen. But I think this remains plausible for the most part. It's extremely physical comedy. I go home from rehearsal feeling kind of beat up every night, and that's when it goes well. And so if it doesn't go well, it's by the time I get out of my car at home, I'm kind of breaking things to get out of the car. Everything's so stiff. Johnny's our fight coordinator for that, and that has been really wonderful because the first time I appeared this in production was also at the Rep, and we didn't have one of those then. And so we are orders and orders above in our physical comedy than I believe my memory was from 2006, the last time the Rep did this show.
Johnny, going off of the fact that, you're the fight coordinator for this comedy.
Absolutely.
Have you ever been a fight coordinator for a comedy? What goes into that? Because I feel like there's a difference between being a fight coordinator for serious fights and we got to make this look like people are trying to hurt each other. But in this scenario, it's supposed to have a comedic aspect to it. What goes into that?
Wow. Good question, Austin. Well, as a fight coordinator, I started back in 2019, where I learned the basics of safety. And safety is a priority in all stage combat. Despite all of the teachings in stage combat, there are risks. There are always risks. How Chloe would say it, it is controlled chaos. So my job as a fight coordinator is to teach stage combat safely, and depending on the director, on how realistic she wants it to be, is to determine how I would teach stage combat in that format. So if it is, let me backtrack to where I was before here. Yes, as a fight coordinator, my job is to teach safety and consistency. The basic punches, snaps, kicks. In this case, there's sword plays and foil sword plays as well. So yes, a lot of these teachings that I have been doing here are derived from Owens. So yes, that's.
The bonus is we get to use the real foils, which is not. I've never got to do that before. Usually we're up there with wooden swords, things like that, and you can definitely hurt each other with those too. But the real foils are used, and so it makes a really nice sound and it looks a lot more authentic, even though it's two old people doing it, it's good fun.
Lane, you say like you've been in other scenes and plays and such when there's fight scenes going on. So
Right.
you've worked with other fight coordinators for different productions, right?
Yep, including Chloe. Actually.
Yeah, and how, like, I'm trying to represent Owens Community College here. How has our boy over here been doing for you guys? Been doing pretty good?
Actually, I didn't know he had learned this at Owens at first, and when I was impressed with what we were doing and the professionalism with which it was happening, and then I found out that Johnny had learned it here. I was kind of, oh wow, well, that's cool, and so actually since I found that out, I looked a little bit more into what's going on around here, and I've been impressed. I know the theater's technical director, Rick Cleaver, fairly well through my theater in the area. And he's a great resource for how do I build this, or hey, can I borrow your casters for 6 weeks? And yes, he's a great champion of theater here and in the area, and he's a treasure.
Now, I feel like the next important bit for any play, of course, I mean, other than the script and the actors, all right. But
Depends.
it all comes down to circumstance, But the venue. So where is this going to be taking place? Where is Moon Over Buffalo going to be taking place? Like, by that I mean it's going to be it's in Toledo, correct? Like,
Yep,
I'm
just
not
a couple miles
familiar
away.
with where the venue's at.
Sure. Downtown Toledo has hosted the Toledo Repertoire Theater, 93 years. Sorry, 92 years this year. Next year's the 93rd season. Wow. It's just off the expressway, 75 at the corner of 10th and Washington. And one aspect of this particular production that I am just absolute loving, the set is supposed to be the Erlanger Theater in Buffalo, New York, and the green room of it. So you never see the stage, you never see the dressing rooms, but you see the room that connects all those things together, and people are going in and out of all those places, slamming those doors I mentioned earlier. The best thing about our set, is, besides its realism, attention to detail, is that there are a whole bunch of pictures of older black and white pictures of actors in various costumes and roles, sometimes posed, sometimes candid on the stage. And I don't know, there's maybe 30 of them up on the walls, but they are all of real productions in the Rep in the 30s and 40s and 50s. They got them out of the archives, stuck them into frames, hung them up on the walls, and it's just such a neat. I was a history teacher most of the time, and it's just being a part of that history and seeing more of that history than I'd ever seen. It's very cool. So the Toledo Repertoire Theater is, at least in my opinion, and probably most actors in the area, Toledo's best community theater. There are a lot of community theaters in Toledo, more now than, say, there were 20 years ago. But the Rep has the best rep, and it continues to plod along in its merry way. It's mostly volunteers, and anytime you're volunteer dependent, you have ups and downs, peaks and valleys. Heck, Saturday Night Live does too, and they've got plenty of money. So we're plugging along. We're always looking for more people to audition, more people to produce, more people to fight choreograph, more people to donate. And it's a great institution and looking to be around a lot longer. And invite everybody out.
I want to make sure nobody misses the date. When is this play going to be happening? Like, what's the time frame? Like the 14th, the 12th?
Right, Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day?
Right.
All right, we've got shows the 14th, 15th, and 16th, and then the next weekend, the Thursday through Sunday. The evening shows start at 8, right? Does that sound right? That sounds right.
That sounds right, yes.
And the Sunday afternoons at 2:30. Tickets are $23.25 for non-students and non-old people. It drops down to $20 for that, students and seniors. But Thursday night is Thrifty Thespian, make sure I say that correctly, night, $10 a ticket if you buy it at the door.
Still.
So I want to hear from both of your perspectives. Why do you think someone should come see this play? Like, I'm not saying like, oh, like imagine, not even trying to convince someone, but give me the selling points. Like, what's your favorite part about the play? What you're looking forward to people seeing, and why should people come out and see it this weekend?
Well, I think Johnny and I have different perspectives on that. I'm one of the actors. I played George Hay, the old guy, and for me personally, this closes an interesting loop in my life, because my very first production at the Toledo Rep was in Moon Over Buffalo, the first time, where I played a younger character because, well, I was younger. And this time around, getting the lead role is, for me personally, pretty exciting. And it's also proved to be a much greater challenge than I had understood when I went and auditioned. Not only the number of lines, but the physicality of the comedy, as I had to work out a little more and been getting workouts a little more just through rehearsal. But that's for me. For other people come to see the show, laughter is curative. No matter what the times we're living in, more laughter is good for anybody. And this play is funny. It's just flat out funny. And the cast we've got together, we're supporting each other in that we set each other up well for the humor, the jokes, make them land. It seems to me that the timing throughout the whole cast, the comedic timing, which is something I've tried to teach before, and it's just so difficult to adequately explain, but you know it when you see it. It's a lot of things you can describe that way, but the comedic timing is good. It's very good, actually. But I'm swept up in it, on it. I haven't watched it, and Johnny, you got more of that perspective. He was there last night. We had an hour-long fight call before we ran, and then we ran the show, and I don't know. Now I'm nervous. What are you going to say?
Don't worry, I have nothing but good things to say about everyone in this cast, production team, and all crew members here. For me, I enjoy having fun with the actors, making sure the talents are having fun. They're learning their lines, they're learning their sequence, and they're just having fun with it. It's because I believe that if they're having fun with it, they will learn it 10 times quicker. And it's a joy to work with all the actors here. just gonna name them all out here. It's Lane, Jill, Lee, Nicole, Andy, Jennifer, Kevin. All great actors. They're gonna do well on this production. As far as audiences and the reason why to come watch this production, I would say, is that this play is packed with witty dialogues, slapstick humors, and tragical misadventures. It's making it makes this a favorite among audiences who loves classic comedies with a touch of nostalgia. It's just a great show in general and very fun to watch. I saw bits and pieces of it. My purpose is to teach stage combat, but my perspective is I want to see this like fresh in my mind once everything comes together. So I'm there. I teach. Say hello. Any questions? Is there anything that needs to be fixed? Any injuries? Because every day, you never know. You're gonna wake up on the wrong side of the bed and be like, "Hey, I can't do this right now." And just let me know, right? And we will fix it. And then I'm out. Yeah, that's me.
Well, I really appreciate you guys coming out here today, talking about the Moon Over Buffalo play with me. I really have appreciated your guys' insight from the experience, from the actor point of view, from production, fight coordinator point of view. I think it's been really insightful. I really hope people go and see that this weekend. It is, again...
And next,
it is The Moon Over Buffalo from the 14th.
Right, 14th through the
23rd.
Through the 23rd?
Yeah, I could come up.
Perfect. Everybody needs to make sure they go out and see that. Thank you guys again. Did you have any shout outs or thanks you wanted to give to anybody?
Just the rest of the cast, the crew, the production. It's been a treat.
I would like to give my thanks to the director, Amy Spalding Hearing, and the stage manager, Ann Somer. Great work on the costume designers, Lois Somer, props master, Brad Riker. Thanks for approving that the foils, the swords, so I can play around with it with the actors. Paul Adley for the set designing. It's very phenomenal, very beautiful. I promise I won't break anything. I won't teach to break anything. It never happened in last production, so hopefully it doesn't happen in this production. So this is going to be a successful run.
Awesome. With that, my name is Austin Sigler. I have been here with Johnny Lay and Lane Hakal, and thank you guys for listening.
This has been Community Connection. If your group or organization would like to appear on Community Connection, message us from the Owens Community College Radio Facebook page. This has been Community Connection.